Hello, Media Arts 1, 2, and Independent Study students. So this is going to be the recordings that we did on Wednesday and Thursday for September 30th and October 1st for both A and B day. So the previous video stated that you were going to be drawing from a still life for 13 minutes. Here is this video. So please draw only the 3 objects that you see on your screen, ignoring the walls and the back. So please hit pause and then draw for 13 minutes. Go. If you're still staring at me, then you probably need to hit pause. Okay, we're back. All right, so after you've drawn your still life drawing for 13 minutes, you're going to take a photo of your page and upload it to Google Classroom so that way I can see if you have missed a day, it has already been assigned to you only. Okay, here is what I'm doing with that assignment. So we have been learning about value shading and using them in the drawing techniques. So that means you are potentially ready to start your first assignment for Media Arts 1 and 2. Okay. Things are just a little bit crazy. All right. So your assignment is this. It is going to be titled, What's in the Box? You are going to be creating a piece of artwork that follows the theme, What's in the Box? The final draft needs to include the following. It needs to utilize one drawing technique, either hatching, cross-hatching, stippling, scrumbling, or smooth value shading / rendering throughout the entire piece. I have shown you guys repeatedly how to do 4 of them. The only one I didn't really show you is stippling. If you are really bent on trying to do stippling, go for it. Your piece needs to have a minimum of 4 value shades throughout the entire piece. This last week and this week, I've been having you guys push 3 value shades. This time, I'm wanting 4. So if you remember the stepped value scale, I am looking for a 7, which will be your 4. Somewhere in between a 5 and a 6 is going to be your 3. The 4 is going to be your 2. And somewhere between a 2 and a 3 is going to be your 1. 1 is not going to be completely blank. It actually has a little bit of value in there. Your piece needs to have an established foreground and background, meaning if your idea to the theme is what's in the box and you decided to draw a box of donuts, where is your box of donuts? Is it in a car? Is it in a desert? Is it in a field? Where is it going to be? Your viewer needs to understand where the object you are placing on your paper is going to be set. So that is why I need to establish foreground and background. Your subject matter needs to follow the theme of what's in the box. I will show examples of what I mean by that, but let's continue. All objects also need to be approaching 3-dimensional. This week and last week, I've been really pushing you guys in regards to understanding how value shading, when coupled with objects, creates a 3-dimensional object. So we understand how to do a step value scale. So I really want to see how you understand value shading when in relation to form and structure. Your piece needs to be the craftsmanship needs to be thoughtful, neat, and intentional. So that means you need to think and plan about what you're going to be doing. The mediums, you get to choose which ones you want to do. You can decide if you want to use graphite or use a pen. The question that it's often asked, is this in color? No, it is not. You are going to be working in graphite, so it's essentially going to be in black and white unless you are using pen, and the color of your ink is going to determine if it's in color. Long answer, no. This is also due on October 14th, which is a Wednesday, and it's going to be due at 11:59 p.m. Here are some examples of what you potentially can do for this assignment. You can do the literal example of showing an object inside of a box. The key points in this photo is that I see 4 value shades, and there's an established setting, meaning a foreground and a background. There is a cast shadow, and also it is utilizing one type of drawing technique. This one uses a combination of hatching and rendering. Or you can be a little bit more interpretive when it comes to the theme. So this student obviously grabbed a handful of whatever in a box and just dumped it out and drew it. This one's approaching, though, more on 3 value shades. The reason why is because I'm seeing a lot of line. When you see lines, it's because your brain is trying to interpret the light and darks in an object. So we don't have lines on us or outlines per se in reality, but that's how our brain is interpreting it. So really, there honestly should be a small gradient scale or a value scale transitioning from dark to light as it gets to the middle of this object. So again, this is using a combination of cross-hatching, rendering, and it has about 3 value shades. In some areas it has 2. So it mostly answers the prompt that I'm looking for. Before, though, you even make one mark into your sketchbook, you need to understand in art, I need to see your progress. So when you're creating your art pieces, you're going to routinely photograph your work. So that means I need a photograph of your rough draft sketches. Rough draft sketches are kind of the plans or the blueprints before you make the final. You need to include 2 reference photos. Reference photos are additional images that you use to help get the accuracy of your objects or the contents of what's going to be on your paper to like completion. You need to show one middle progress photo. So a photo that is going to be in the middle of you being finished. And then obviously I need a photo of the completed artwork. So in total, 5 images are going to be submitted in for this assignment. Now, before you even think about digging out that final draft paper that feels like your sketchbook paper, you need to create 3 rough draft drawings of a potential idea for this assignment. So I want you to come up with 3 ideas for the assignment. It can be 3 individual ideas, or if you're the kind of person that's like, I already have my one, I want to get started. Hold on. You need to take that one idea and rearrange it 2 additional ways. So in total, 3. Okay? So the analogy that I'm using is a box of donuts. You're really settled on this box of donuts idea. Well, you can draw a box of donuts. That's your first idea. The second idea could still have a box of donuts, but let's say the box is empty and it has like half-eaten and like donut crumbs around it. That's idea number 2. The third idea could be still having that box of donuts, but the box can be empty because someone is putting donuts into it. So the idea of a box of donuts is seen throughout all of these 3 ideas, but how it's composed and arranged is completely different. So you can do that option, or you can just stick with 3 individual brand new ideas. All right, just remember that rough draft sketches are supposed to be rough. They're not going to be completely like done. So there's supposed to be a game plan, an outline, a rough draft of what you're going to be doing. So by the time you feel ready to go to the final draft, you have an exact idea of what you're going to be doing when you are creating. Remember, your rough draft sketches need to have a 4-step value scale. It needs to follow the theme of what's in the box, and it has to have an established foreground and background. Okay, please submit your ideas for your, actually, I'm not going to do that. So we'll be working on this again next week. So if you have any questions or if you're still confused, please email me. Other than that, good luck.